Good morning. Well, we're 20 miles into our ride this morning and we're actually riding the second half of the King John Way. We started off in Boston, got the train over there. We had 18 miles to go to start the route where we left it last time at Woodall Spa. Currently on the Spa Trail, which leaves Woodall and will take us to Horncastle. And a bit different today because Wendy and I have communication.
Yay! I think that's good.
Well, it's good.
I think by the third day, the battery doesn't work.
Yeah.
I forgot to charge it up.
It's when she starts singing, I can turn it off. And what I always know when she's singing because her head wobbles. So if you're interested,
Yeah, you're right.
swallowed a fly.
I know an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. I should have.
Is that it? You only know that bit, don't you?
Yeah. Don't know what goes next.
Spider.
What swallowed? Oh, thank you. I know an old lady who swallowed a spider. It wiggled and tickled and jiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps you'll die.
Now the good thing about this Bikom 20 intercom is there's an off switch, so I can always cut her off. And then when I see the head, the head stop wobbling, I realise that she's finished singing and turn it on again. But if you're interested, we'll talk about these intercoms a bit later because they have revolutionised our ride. It's on a par with the Garmin Varia radar.
Yeah, I can agree. They're just brilliant. They're just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean we chat all the time, but sometimes, you know, like here where we're single file, we've got to catch up to say something.
Yes.
I'm forever saying, say again, say again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So this Bikom 20 works on a system called mesh. So whereas Bluetooth systems have relatively limited range and you can maybe get up to sort of 4 people hooked up, this mesh system can carry an infinite number of units. So if you had, say, a peloton of 20 riders, they could all be hooked up onto this. There's 6 channels, so you can choose a channel that nobody else is on. What I do like about the system is that we've got something like a ½ mile range. Now, bear in mind, you'll only get that range if it's clear line of sight. So if you're in a built-up area or you've got bends and things like that, it won't be quite as good. But it certainly means if Wendy's way ahead, we can still talk. And if I'm ahead, Wendy can always shout,
"You're going the wrong way!"
So you can see we're having
Who needs Mike?
yeah, we're having fun, and it's certainly been a great aid to us, and in fact it's a great aid for safety as well.
Yeah, it's really good. You just know what's going on a bit more, don't you, around you? It's good.
And also, of course, the system has Bluetooth, so you can connect up your phone. So you can take phone calls, you can listen to music, you do whatever you like. But the good thing about it is that the unit sits on the helmet strap. It's not in your ear, so it's not interfering in any way with the sounds around you of traffic and that sort of thing. So for this half of the route, Wendy and I are going to take 3 days. I think we're talking about probably 60 miles today. Tomorrow, was that about 70-ish?
Yeah, and then a bigger day on Wednesday.
Bigger day on Wednesday, so we're looking forward to it. And especially because, although I designed the route, I don't know all of the route, and that's because two people very kindly contributed. First of all, Bruce Watt rode the route, the second half of the route that is, and he picked up on some areas that could be improved. And also Richard Lake, and Richard advised on the road route. So if you want to race around on a road bike, there is a route that's mainly on road. So there are some little parts of this route that I've never ridden on before, and you haven't, have you, Wendy?
Definitely not. No, after Horncastle, it's all new territory.
Apart from the help given by Richard and Bruce, had quite a few other contributors locally. One in particular was Martin Penson from Horncastle, and he's given us the ideal route through and around Horncastle. So again, thank you to Martin. It's always good to have local knowledge. People know these little beauty spots that we don't know. Now this route today is going to be a bit climby because we're clipping the wolds, and as I've said before, people think Lincolnshire is flat, but as you'll see soon, not all of it. Another good feature of the Bikom 20, the buttons are quite small and quite prominent, so you can easily use the buttons with gloves on. You can feel where they are quite easily. These are rated for 8 hours on a charge, and we certainly found on a long ride we did recently that we easily got that. What's quite useful as well is that we know that not everybody wears a helmet. Some people like to wear just a cap, and for this reason Sena have included a special clip that fits on your cap. Now with the Bikom 20 there is a slight quirk, and it's the same with any of these units. You do get a certain amount of latency, so that's the time it takes for the signal to go through to the other system and come out the speaker. So when Wendy and I are speaking to each other now, you'll find there is a slight delay. At first that was a little bit disconcerting, but what we then started to do was just adapt, and either when we were having long periods of riding next to each other we could easily just switch one of the units off.
Mesh intercom on. Channel 1. Mic off. Mic on. Mesh intercom off.
Or with them on, we found we just listened to the sound from the speaker, not from the voice.
Summertime and the living is easy. The fish are jumping. Ouch. And the bees are stinging me. The flies are buzzing. And the birds are tweeting. So hush.
She'll quieten down when we get to this big hill.
What big hill?
Well, we left Horncastle, had a right turn, and it's been almost a perpetual climb, but very, very gentle.
Yeah.
But long.
Yeah.
We think we've probably come to the end of it now, but nothing on the road, nothing has overtaken us, so it's very quiet.
Beautiful.
So good choice, Martin. So you can see all that climbing has brought us up to the top of the hill. We now have a lovely view out over the wolds. There's some earthworks in the distance. To the right you can see signposted Winceby 3 3/4, and that is the site of the shortest battle in the Civil War, the English Civil War. And that's information thanks to Andy Townley, who's another one of our route contributors. And Andy told us that that battle only lasted 30 minutes. So we did all that work getting up, Wendy, and we're going down again.
Mesh intercom off.
Well, that was fun.
It was.
The last time we came this way, we went up that hill. That's Tetford Hill.
And with all the weight on.
Yeah, really flew down there.
I think I'm rather glad we went up to the top of Tetford Hill the way we did.
Yeah, so am I. This is glorious, isn't it?
I recognised it. You know how you do? You think, because it's steep and then there's a bit of a false flat and then it goes up again, doesn't it?
All bluebells in there, aren't there?
Yeah, it looked beautiful, didn't it? Let's go this way. He wasn't going any faster.
He did a little wave though, did you see?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was the first car we've seen for about half an hour.
I know. Amazing, isn't it?
Babble, babble, babble.
We're just approaching the village of Summersby, and Summersby was the birthplace and the home of Alfred Lord Tennyson, and this is the famous Babbling Brook. If any of you have read Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem The Brook, this is the brook that featured in it.
I chatter over stony waters in little sharps and trebles. I babble into eddying bays, I babble on the pebbles.
So we're in the village of Summersby now, and this is the old vicarage, which is where Tennyson was born and raised, because Tennyson's father was the vicar. And next door we've got this very old building, which is the Grange. And a very kind gentleman farmer has just told us that the church is open, so we're going to go and have a look.
Many years perhaps, or shall I say many ages after all, have been laid in dust, young lovers of the beautiful and true may seek in faithful pilgrimage the spot where Alfred's mind was moulded in silent sympathy with the everlasting forms of nature. Legends will perhaps be attached to the places that are near it.
Right,
Got
discuss.
Tiny, isn't
It
it?
is.
Oh gosh, if you're passing though, it's worth visiting, isn't it? It's pretty. Wow. It's a pretty cottage, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Like a little quarry here, look.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's creepy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some of these villages are just amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, just hidden away. Now we've got a little ford here, and the invitation really is to ride through it, but I've been told that it can be quite slippery in the bottom, so our advice would be definitely use the bridge.
Especially we got bags on. Go and have a look.
Oh, you're sending me to have a look, are you? Wendy thinks she's seen a dead animal in the field, and I have to go and have a look.
Well, and?
But look at these fantastic views. and I have to say the climbing has not been out of this world. It's been fine, it's been steady. However, we are coming to Old Bolingbroke, and we know we're going to have a stinker of a hill. These are stunning views from up here, and the climbing to get here has not been too bad at all. It's just been fairly gentle, nothing that's been too strenuous. However, we're now dropping down into the village of Old Bolingbroke, which is the site of Bolingbroke Castle. Unfortunately, it's just, I think, a mound now, a few ruins. And you can see this tremendous view ahead. But
Wow.
we're dropping down into... but everything has an equal and opposite, and I'm afraid we have to go back up the other side. Look at that view, Wendy.
Stunning. Where's the castle? Up there.
Yeah. When in the village, yeah. When you are struggling up that hill, just make sure you remember this, and it was worth it. It's a bit gritty on these corners.
Yeah.
Look, look, look. New GMT route, Greenwich Meridian.
How about
trail.
that? I wonder if they had to get planning permission to put that up. So what does this say, Wendy? Read it.
It says, while here, do visit Bolingbroke Church, where there are exhibitions telling you much more about Henry Bolingbroke's time here and his rise to become King of England. Also find out about the siege of Bolingbroke Castle during the English Civil War in 1643, and why John of Gault's church is now only a third of its original size. Discover medieval graffiti on the 14th century font and enjoy the peace and tranquility of the church and churchyard. Before you go, also visit the Gas House, located next to the church gates, and discover more about Old Bolingbroke's community and its historic past. A fabulous exhibition. Bolingbroke Castle was the birthplace of King Henry IV in 1367. The castle was captured by parliamentary forces after a 2-month siege in November 1643.
Well, this is saying road ahead closed, Wendy.
Thank God for that. If I get halfway up that bloody hill and they make me go...
Yeah, but at least you'll be coming back down it.
Yeah, but I'll have to go up another one.
I don't know where we go. 5 miles to Spilsby. 3 miles to
3
Spilsby.
miles to Spilsby.
Even better. Lunch.
Yeah. I don't know whether they'll be glad if they say you can go through.
Yeah, trouble is I don't know where to go if not.
Yeah. I don't want to go on the main road.
I've just asked the man in the van, can we go through? He's traffic management, and he said, well, if you ask them. The problem is we've got no way of getting anywhere else other than the main road, and I don't want to do that. So we'll use our charm. excuse me, sorry. Can we walk through? Because otherwise we've got to go on the main road. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is it all right if we come through? Thank you. Right, well, we successfully negotiated our way through there, but we've now got to get going again on this damn great hill.
Good luck with this then.
So we're in a low gear anyway, so.
Found a bit of a curb.
I think Wendy's just had some energy drink. She's roaring away. Now we've picked up quite a strong headwind at the moment, and what's interesting and worth noting is that these intercoms have incredible noise suppression, so we've not got any wind noise at all we can hear are our voices. That was one of my concerns, that there would be extraneous noises, but they have got a special noise cancelling circuit and it works really effectively. Now Mike and I do use the Sena C1 helmets for our guided rides, but there is a downside to that, in that helmets need to be changed if you damage them or after a certain period of time. And that means that when you throw your helmet away, you're throwing the intercom away. So the big benefit of this Bikom 20 system is that you can fit it to your helmet. And they actually give you two mounts so that you can have a couple of different helmets and just clip on the unit. Well, today's route, in the words of Malk Turner, has been quite undulating. We've done 1,600 feet of climbing, so it's not a huge amount. And I would say, if you are a seasoned cyclist and you like climbs, you might find this quite boring. Oh dear, we're getting excited because you've seen the sea. Yes, it's ahead of you. But if you're a touring cyclist, you're not used to hills, you still won't find this too challenging. Just take your time. But we're now leaving the hills behind because we're dropping down into the plain that takes us to the coast. But today has been wonderful. Very, very scenic, picturesque, quiet roads. And I think it shows how attractive Lincolnshire can be. Well, we're 3 miles from our destination, for the night that is. We're staying inland, and the place we're staying at has a King John room, which Wendy's nabbed, so quite appropriate. I'm in the potato room, or the King Edward. But we've had nearly 1,700 feet of climbing now. This is a contrast from the first half of the ride we did, which is obviously a lot flatter, more agricultural. So we'll bid you good night and we'll see you tomorrow.
Right. Bonne nuit.
Sand.
Sand. Yeah, careful.
Like sand. Sabidella.